Hi, it's the last night of the session here tonight. This is my Week 7 update. We are just finishing our break before we go back on the floor for 4.5 hours to finish things up for this legislative session. I wanted to quickly take this time to just give you an update about where we are, maybe a couple of things that are coming up. This session has been a really busy one. I've been so grateful for my family that have been so supportive of me during this time. They are an inspiration to me, one reason why I run for office. I know that your family is just as important to you. I try to keep my family and yours in mind when I'm up here. I'm up here to do things to set Utah up on a path where we can just have the bright future for our kids as we've enjoyed in Utah also. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about the state budget and some things as we've just finalized those this week. I want to introduce you to my family first. So over here with me, joining me at the Capitol tonight are my wife Cheryl and my son Nico and daughter Sydney. And hope they'll wave and smile and be super cute. I'm just so grateful for them. And like I said, they really are an inspiration to me and guide a lot of what we try to do here. Because I know that you guys are also looking for the future of your family. So let me talk to you a little bit about what we did in the state budget to try to set things up for the future. We've invested more than $1 billion in roads this year, and that is going to include funding for finishing Bangerter Highway as a freeway all the way up to I-80. That's a multi-year project, but that is in place. The environmental study is now done, and I've just seen the plans actually this week for what that stretch of road will look like, and I'm really excited for what that's going to do for the west side of Salt Lake County where we all live. It's also going to start funding projects like turning Mountain View Corridor into a freeway. That's coming along quickly also. We invested several $100 million new dollars into public education. We doubled the funding for the Utah Fits All Scholarship. By the way, today is the second day that people could apply for that scholarship. There were more than 10,000 students applied for that scholarship in just 2 days. We also put in not a lot of money. There's a few $1 million to try to bring down interest rates on housing. But we put in a lot of good policy on housing. And to me, those are 3 key parts about our future. Making sure that we can move around our valley and keeping the price of housing low and affordable and investing in education so that we've got the workforce in the economy that can keep Utah's awesome #1 in the nation economic performance going. I would also like to say that we did nothing in the state budget for new stadiums. I know that there's been some confusion about that in the media. So we set up some structures to be able to allow for the possibility of bringing in National League Hockey or National Hockey League team and a Major League Baseball team, but there's no money for those stadiums in our budget this year. I also have been working on making government more efficient. I want to talk about a couple of bills that I did on that I carried, plus a couple of things we did on the floor to make sure that we keep government more efficient. So I ran a program to combine a couple of scholarships at the State Board of Education so that instead of being multiple scholarship programs, they're consolidated down into one. I think over the long term, that's going to save a lot of taxpayer money in administration and also target money where it does the most good. We ran 2 bills this year that consolidated like 70 different government commissions. I don't know if any of you watched The Crown, but in this current season of The Crown, there's a little episode where the Queen, is maybe thinking about making their government more efficient, and it suggested that they get rid of the Warden of the Swans. That's a position in the British state government, and they didn't do that. But I'm proud to say in Utah, we did eliminate the Heritage Trees Advisory Commission, and another commission that hasn't met since 1957. We're just kind of going through and making sure that our state lies up with what we're doing, and we're getting rid of government operations and government oversight in areas where it doesn't really belong. I ran a bill this year to consolidate taxes, the Salt Lake County Zoo Arts and Parks tax, to make sure that that is going where it needs to go and to direct a greater portion of that to the southwest corner of the valley. I was really proud of the work we did there. Yeah, and let me talk to you about 2 other bills that aren't mine, but that because I read every bill, I caught some errors that I think were important. And even though you might consider this something of like small potatoes, but House Bill 79 was a bill on initiatives and referenda and signature gathering, and it was really targeted to help make sure that people who are disabled and who can't physically sign their name have a method to still do that. And that part of the bill was great, but I think inadvertently there was another section of the bill that struck out some important language to make sure that people understand what they're signing. But because I read every bill, I was able to catch that and put it back in. There was also House Bill 341 that was on school closures. There were some important things there that would have just, again, I think it was just a drafting error, but something that would have made it so that school districts could have gotten around the notice requirements that they would be required to give for boundary changes and for potential school closures. And I was able to run an amendment to fix that on the Senate floor. So those are some of the things that I've been working on here in the last hours of the session. I really appreciate the outreach that you've had to me. I've been continuing to get emails and text messages. I've been responding to those as quickly as I can. Very proud to say that I achieved email inbox 0 earlier today. I know it never stays like that, but communicating with you is a top priority for me. So I just want to thank you for the engagement that we've had. And I've been trying to do my best job representing you. I hope you'll come and share your thoughts with me at our town hall meeting on Saturday. So that'll be March 9th, 1 o'clock at the South Jordan Public Safety Building. I think I'll be joined by a couple of representatives from the State House, and we all come back to report to you. You're our employer, and so we'll be there to talk to you and hope that you'll make it and can join us. Thanks again so much for working with me this session.